Alright, welcome back to, I believe it's part 20 of the build. Here we are back with the roof. As you can see, I painted it, stained it and whatnot. These are all shades of brown, black, a little bit of a gray wash over it on the outside and inside. And the outside really doesn't matter since that's going to be covered up with shingles and clapboard. But here on the inside, there are all different types of shading there with the different paints, the acrylic paints. So my next step is to do the walls for the staircase here. I'm just going to cover up the staircase. So I already pre-built some of the walls. You can see one wall, then you have your left and your right, as well as what will be the ceiling, the roof for that stairwell opening. So what this is just again the same balsa wood, and I'm using these bass strips. These are 3/16 inch square. So for the walls here, I'm just going thinner, and I'm only going to have cladding, wall covering on one side, and the other side is just going to be painted and staying the same as the interior of the attic, and they'll be kept open. And then this is going to be the front. I'm going to cut out the doorway here for getting inside. And this is the other wall. And then I already measured and pre-cut the pieces which will form the ceiling for that staircase. And the way that this will fall, just to take one piece here. So what I did is just measure the angle, measure the size, and this will go, oops, let me get this here in camera. I'll go like that. Actually, let me see if I can just dry fit a couple of these just to give you a better idea. So let me just pause for a moment and raise the camera up. Alright, here just give you a little top view with the pieces just temporarily in place there. And then over that, there's going to be another piece of balsa wood that's going to be the roof of that, covering it up so that when you're in the staircase looking up, all you see is just the white plaster walls, nice and clean. And then once you get inside the attic, you see the rest of the unfinished attic space. And I mentioned before, I just need to cut out that doorway before I assemble this. Alright, so let me put this together and I shall be back. Alright, so I've assembled a little staircase top here. Put it in place temporarily, so that's what it looks like. So let's remove the roof so you can see sorry about that. So this is what it looks like after it's been assembled. You can see there inside, cut out the door. So next step is to paint this so we can attach it. And then I think I'll be ready to attach the roof permanently to the floor here. Alright, so be back in a moment. Okay, so here's the little top of the stairs. Now the little white lines do you see here? These are plaster. I'm just trying to imitate that plaster lath look. If you take a look at the actual walls, the inside is going to be all plaster. The inside, through the layouts, you see some of the plaster ooze out. So that's what that's supposed to indicate. I'll probably give it a little bit of a wash just to kind of blend it a little bit more in. But otherwise, that's what that's supposed to indicate. I didn't do the insides yet. Reason being is I still have to also do the underside of this as well with that same material. So I think I'm just going to right now glue this in place. And then later on, I'm going to do the ceiling. I'll do the interior of this all in one shot. And next thing, after I glue that in place, I still got to do the door, and I'll do that later. Probably when I go to do the windows, is going to be to attach the roof here. And actually, let me back this up a little bit. Excuse the jitters here. Alright, so then I'm going to glue this to this, and I'm going to apply the strip around the edges to tie it all in and cover up these gaps you see here. Now this is a piece of balsa. I painted one side, didn't paint the other side yet. And the reason I painted on this side is so it matches more or less the insides. So I'm going to cut this into a strip, attach it all the way around, and that's going to tie the floor and the top of the roof all in one piece. And then we'll go on and do the very top of the roof. Alright, so we'll be back. Alright, so here we're back with the roof. I applied the fascian here on the bottom here all the way around. So this wide width you see here, about half of it's going to be I'm going to be attaching the gutter around the perimeter, and then the lower half is just going to be a decorative trim around the roof line here. Now for the last part of the roof, the top here. So I already started to work on this, and here you are. So I used that 3/16-inch basswood dowels to frame it. Just made it easier to use that. So this is the structure that I went with. First I did the long piece here. I put in these little supports here where I have these parts, and then I put another dowel all the way across the top here, the ridge. And I did something similar here for each one of the dormers here. Now what I've done with these, just to give you an idea, once I attach this and at each one of the joints, just to give a little bit more rigidity, what I have done is once I measure and cut the pieces, I've also taken one of the little pin vise here and drill a hole through the piece, going from one piece to the other. And then I took a piece of paper clip and just press it through the hole all the way in, apply glue, and let that set just to give a little bit more rigidity each one of these joints. Since I'm just doing butt joints here. So if you look carefully here, you'll see the little dot there where the paper clip is located on these joints. So it's a quick, little easy, just to give a little bit more rigidity to the whole structure. So I still have to finish this one off. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the roof. I'm going to do the corners, and then I'm going to come around and fill it in. So it's the same process as the roof. I'll be using, again, the Legos as a spacing to space them out in between. All right, so I'm going to do all that off camera, and I'll be back once that's completed. Okay, so here we are with all the roofing structure completed. So I got all the joists, all the rafters all completed there. So my next step is going to be to paint this and then cover it just like I did with the roof. So already, while this was drying, I went and pre-painted the inside of what would be covering up the roof. And now I'll just paint this up and then apply it to the roof, just like I did to this top part, just like I did to the main roof here. So it'll be the same process. So I'll do that off camera, and I shall be back. Okay, so here we're back with the top of the roof. Everything's been covered up. I trimmed up all the excess, sanded off all the edges, so it's nice, more or less fully covered. There are a few little gaps here and there, but all that's going to be covered up with the tile, the shingles and everything else that's going on the roof, and the detailing. Much like the lower part, I added a little bit of a strip here, a little bit of a skirt that's going to be decorative all along the edge, as well as it also helps keep this in place for moving around, as you can see, so it won't move around too much and stays in place. So I'll probably do something similar once I get to go back to the between the first and second floor and this first floor and the basement, some type of skirt lip to keep it from moving around. Alright, so I think that's where I'm going to leave this for right now. I will come back next week with a further update. Oh, let me just give you a little, so you can see inside. So the inside part will be painted similar wood color, but for right now, I'll just leave it like this. Alright, thank you all for watching. Thank you for the likes and comments. Hope everyone has a good day. Stay safe.